Good people, it's Friday Junior. The week is almost over. But we here for another dope episode of Paper Route. I'm Corey Holmes, a.k.a. Corey in the Cut. I got Ashley Nicole Moss here with me in the studio.
Hi.
Brandon Marshall, I believe he's out in Las Vegas. Hopefully he's staying cool. There he is.
What's up with
Don't
the
be
Miss
telling
America
nobody where I'm at, man. Don't be telling my whereabouts, bro.
Hey, I'm the feds. Oh, man, I just started off the show being the feds. My fault, man. We got Woo Out West. We got BC in the booth. And we got Manor Legend. You know, he's just out somewhere and remaining mysterious, right? But, no, we got
Show
a dope
your
show.
face, Manderville.
I know, right?
He's somewhere hiding in the shadow.
Randall Johnson, love you too. Thanks for watching. He's in the chat. He said, Ashley, I love you, big red heart. So just want to say hi.
Oh, that's dope.
Did y'all get an I love you today? I don't think so.
I didn't.
I don't think we ever got an
I think I've been receiving the opposite of I love yous, yo. They've been killing me. They've been killing me because of the what did Corey know from yesterday. They've been killing me on social media, on
the
Twitter,
Twitter
Instagram.
streets are on the verge of revoking your black card, but that's a different conversation.
No, that's what they've been telling me. That's what they've been telling me. My black card is about to be revoked. Crazy.
Definitely up for renewal.
Yeah, he said up for the renewal. Yeah. All right, let's get into the show though today, man. We got to
take a little longer to the renewal process.
Right,
this
I
time
know,
around.
right? Yo, I'm down bad after that Payton full miss. It got scary yesterday. But nah. So what we're gonna hit today? Broncos coach Sean Payton established an interesting set of rules for this preseason. We're gonna share our thoughts on that a little bit later. And Kiyan Anthony, he's been in the lab. But the question is, will he be better than his dad, Carmelo Anthony? We'll dive into that a little bit later. But we're going to start the show off with this. We got several rookies making their debuts tonight in the preseason. So we got a doubleheader to start off week one of the preseason. Houston Texans versus the Patriots. And you got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Seahawks. Who you guys looking forward to seeing?
So, Ashley,
You know I don't care about preseason, y'all.
Ashley, don't do this, Ashley. Start fast, finish strong.
You know, Brandon, we had this conversation in the production meeting. I am a football fanatic. Come week one, I'm watching 12 hours of football. Ask my mom from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. when Sunday Night Football ends. I am in the same spot. I only get up for bathroom breaks, snacks, and 7-inning stretches. But preseason is not my stilo. I don't care. I'm going to be honest with you.
Ashley, there has to be one player, veteran or rookie, that you're excited about.
One.
Even if it's just our team. If it's our Dallas Cowboys, is there one?
One.
There got to be one.
Any of the top picks? Can you start in the top five? Maybe top five draft picks or
So
something.
here's what I say, Corey. Before I dive into who I'm excited to watch, I do. I'm like Ashley, obviously a huge football fan. I'm not watching 12 hours. So let me backtrack. I'm probably not like Ashley. Ashley probably watches more football than I do. Ashley, it's tough for me on Sunday with the kids running around to keep up with all the games. What I found that helps me is I'll find one or two games, but then I'll go and just watch, the 13-minute clips on YouTube, and that's how I keep up there. And then I'll read all the reports and the statistics. What we need to understand is that preseason is important, not necessarily to the fan because it's not great football. It's almost like the NBA basketball, like their regular season from November to right around March. Okay, this is why they need to do the in-season play-in, et cetera, et cetera. It's just not good ball. But when you're building your team, you're a general manager, this is really exciting time. So when you look at how this thing is constructed, the first game, and every coach is different, right? Because now you're talking about players making $20, $30, $40 million a year. They got to protect that asset, which is their number one asset. So sometimes these coaches don't play guys. We heard about Aaron Rodgers not playing, and there's other guys like, oh, we're on the fence if this guy's going to play or not. But the first game, which you're really looking at as a team, Ashley and Corey, you're really looking at the pregame routine. Can we master the pregame routine? It's the first time us being in our locker room at home or on the road. How are we coming out? What time are we showing up? What is our warm-up like? Do you guys know that you're on a 20 and a 40? The offense is over here on the right. The defense is over here on the left. And then the first string, the thing that you're looking for is the first drive, maybe the first quarter. So that's the first game. Then everybody else plays. The second game, it's all about, can we play a half, right? It might be, play the first quarter and then a drive into the second quarter. But can we put a couple together? Can we do that? Then the third game, we want to play a half, And then we want to get to halftime, make adjustments. It's the first time we're incorporating adjustments and being on our butts, not on our feet. And then coming out, what does that look like for us? Can we do, what we talked about in the locker room? So that's the process. I just wanted to walk us through that. But I will say this, who I'm excited to watch, Ashley and Corey, Deuce Vaughn from my Dallas Cowboys. Y'all hear me saying this, right? Dallas Cowboys. I'm high on the Dallas Cowboys. Ashley bandwagon. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan this year. Desmond Ridder, the quarterback. I got his name right, Corey.
Yeah, you
the
sure
quarterback did. For the Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder is somebody that I really want to watch. And the last two is Zach Wilson of the Jets. He's going to have a lot of time. I want to see if this guy's developing what he's learning from Aaron Rodgers. You see some of the no-look throws coming out of camp. I like that a lot. And then the last group is Baltimore. I want to see this whole Baltimore offense. I'm excited to see what Lamar Jackson, Odell Beckham Jr., and Zay Flowers do, how they put it all together. So that's what I'm looking forward to, Corey.
On that note, Brandon, you think the Ravens going to keep that winning streak alive in this preseason?
Well, I forgot about the winning streak. What are they like? The last 2, 3? What is the
be for real right now? Is this a real conversation that we're having? Did you just have the audacity to say, are they going to keep their preseason winning streak alive? What the hell is going on right now?
There's no other team that you could say has done
what
this.
The actual hell is going? What are we actually talking about right now? Are we for real? Is this a real conversation?
It's a cool.
So you're not. You mean to tell me you're not going to watch the Dallas Cowboys at all in the preseason?
I'm going to watch clips of it. I'm not sitting there and watching 4 quarters of glorified training camp. What the hell?
Goodness.
And we're sitting here actually dissecting a preseason winning streak. Like, get out of my face. This is egregious. This is disrespectful.
Yo.
Hold on. What is the winning streak, Corey? What is this?
Right now, the winning streak stands from 2015 is 23 games straight.
Oh, my. Who cares?
They haven't lost a preseason game.
Man,
how many playoff wins do they have?
Huh?
That's crazy.
How many playoff wins do they have?
They probably got more than the Cowboys.
How many playoff wins do they have?
They probably got more than the Cowboys.
Do they?
It backfired, ain't it, B?
Do they?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
They?
Since 2015, what they got? How many? Who has more playoff
Cowboys,
wins?
Corey, get off my Cowboys.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're an honorary Cowboys fan this year.
That's right.
Oh,
Ashley,
my
are you
God.
accepting me? Can I get into the club? Are you and Mr. Jeff, the president and the chairman of the Cowboy fan base?
I gotta see you after week 1. I gotta see you after week 1. Week 1 we play the Giants. You can't, as a Cowboys fan, even if the Giants do something nice or impressive, you cannot actually acknowledge it. If you are able to pass that test, then you can go ahead and hop on the Cowboys bandwagon for the new season. If you're not, I gotta boot you out.
All right. That's love. Hey, Corey, they will extend this streak. I don't know if they'll, go 4-0 this year. And look, let's hit this quick and let's move on so Ashley doesn't walk off the set.
Right at this point.
I think they will, right? And I think that, when you have something like this going on, you try to protect it. It's cool. I know it's preseason. It's meaningless, but it is a cool thing, right? And the coaches want to go out there and win because it's not just about the superstars, right? Like they're coaching up their rookies, their second guys, the third guys, the same way they're coaching up, the veterans and the same passion that they have for winning when the whole team is out there. They want that same effort when the guys that's trying to make the team, when they're out there. You'll see the veterans on the sideline. That's the most exciting part about preseason. You see our guys with their baseball caps and sunflower seeds running up and down the field when the younger players make plays. So it's on the younger players to actually extend this streak.
Yep. All right, moving on. We had a conversation. It was actually in our post-production meeting, right? And it was about like what stadiums we felt were the best in the NFL. Wait, time out,
Corey. You asked Andrew a question.
Did I?
To pull up who has more playoff wins, the Ravens.
You want to settle that. You want to settle that one.
Or
first,
the Cowboys, and I want the answer.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I didn't know you wanted the Cowboys too, but I could tell you
the Ravens have 6.
They only played 5 games. I thought it was 6. They only played 5 games since 2015.
Okay, so
in the playoffs.
Okay, and the Ravens?
No. That was the Ravens.
Okay, and the Cowboys?
I'm looking up the Cowboys right now.
Okay.
Since 2015.
Well, how many wins of those 5? It was what, like maybe
wins?
3? Yeah,
they only got 1.
Only 1? Okay.
All L's.
Are you gonna?
Go
on, say it to me, Andrew.
The Cowboys have 2 wins.
Okay.
But they played 1, 2, 3,
Whoop-de-doo.
4, 5, 6 times.
All right, don't matter. We have more. 2 is higher than 1. Say you're sorry, Corey.
I don't know if I'm saying I'm sorry.
Say you're sorry, Corey.
No. All right, so
say you're sorry, Corey.
I stand corrected. How about that?
I stand corrected.
I'm
typical, just like a man. Just like a man. Go ahead.
I stand corrected. Nah, but anyways, we're this might be like a little question for the chat on the side, right? Like, who has the best stadium in the NFL? Of course, I'm biased. I think not the Detroit Lions, but the Dolphins have one of the better stadiums in the NFL. Anyways, the Tennessee Titans. Anyways,
what? Corey, you say you might be a little biased. That's all. Just give me 3 features that you love about this Miami Dolphins.
It's that canopy. It's that canopy. You can be sitting anywhere in the stadium if you're on the right side, and you're going to be shaded, and you're still going to be outside. Like, I like that you can get some natural air. I'm guessing. But it's a beautifully architected stadium. And like I said, you're under the shade.
You are such a gas artist, bro.
like
you are so capped. I get it. You are a Dolphins fan. I'm here for the energy.
And is that teal just not the most beautiful color?
Corey, you are so capping right now.
Bro, the Dolphins stadium isn't even top 15.
Stop. That's crazy.
Corey, you've lost your
top 15 is crazy.
What stadium do you? No, real talk, Brandon. Let's have this conversation with him because I think he's been to a different Hard Rock stadium than you and I have been to. So I just want to know: is the one you go to in Miami Gardens?
Yes, it is the one in Miami Gardens.
Oh, because we can't be talking about the same one.
It is a beautiful stadium. If y'all think that's not a beautiful stadium, I think that's crazy.
What's beautiful about it? The big loop-a-doo ramp that you gotta walk up, like that's in like the little big circular boat.
It's the same. It's the same Sun Life Stadium that I played in back in 2010, 2011. They put a little facelift on it by putting that canopy. Corey, you are right. This is what's wrong with the fickle Miami Dolphins fans. They don't come out when it's hot, right? Because there was that visitor side, I believe,
is the one where the sun.
It was just brutal with that sun on them. So the canopy does work miracles. You know, this was the first team that I played on where it's like, I got to get a suite for my family because it's too hot. Right? I played in Denver, I played in Chicago, I played in New York, and you get a suite for those, fall cold months, right? So this was the one where it's like, yo, it's the opposite. It's the heat. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll do us a favor real quick while Corey's getting into this topic. Can you pull up the top 15 stadiums and we'll come back to it?
I actually have it ready.
All right,
go.
Yeah, let's do this now. Yeah,
I have 2 websites, but the one I'm looking on right now is Pro Football Network. And
I can tell you which one's in there.
This is for 2023. The current ranking for Hard Rock is 24.
What?
Because it's
24.
And there was another site.
I've been in a lot of NFL stadiums too. Like, that's actually wild.
I don't understand, Corey, how you can see a stadium like Allegiant, the Death Star in Vegas. I don't understand how you can. Huh?
I give him that.
I don't understand how you can look at SoFi, which I was there for the Super Bowl in LA. Phenomenal. Yeah. Cowboy Stadium, absolutely beautiful. That screen in itself set the precedent for the size of screens that you've seen. The Viking Stadium. Like, I don't understand how you can. Atlanta. All right. I don't understand how you can see those stadiums and say,
all right, how about outdoor stadiums? Can we give it that? I think that was actually the conversation in the post-production anyway. It was outdoor stadiums.
I'm going with the Jets. I'm in the Giants.
I gave him
Seattle. I'm even
Seattle's
going
beautiful.
With, the Broncos is better than better environment.
I've seen all of them.
The Dolphins. Woo, can you go through the 10 real quick? Like, just list the top 10 real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
Let's see if your team's on. Everybody in the chat, whoever your team.
I know my team's on it.
Your team made top 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so according to Pro Football Network, first one is Lambeau Field.
Stop. Wait, time out. Go
to a new source.
Like, based on what? Based on history, they got freaking bleachers.
Yeah, right.
I will say this. Hold on, time out. Hold on, before you move on, I will say this. Remember, I played against them twice a year when I was playing for the Chicago Bears. There's nothing like playing in Lambeau Field on a primetime game. Like I said before, the only thing that's there is like a damn Holiday Inn and one little steakhouse within the Holiday Inn. And then there's Appleton, Wisconsin. So you drive maybe 30, 40 minutes to get to Lambeau Field. And so as you're pulling up to Lambeau Field, it's just, you just come out of like a neighborhood. You come out of a neighborhood, there's trees, there's houses everywhere. Then all of a sudden, it's just, the space just opens up and there's Lambeau Field and the light. It's just shining on it. It's magical. It's like a gift from the football gods. So if they're talking about the experience, then I would say yes. But from an amenity standpoint, they're not number one. But there's nothing better than playing at Lambeau Field on primetime television.
All right. I mean,
get it.
listen,
I get it.
history or whatever. Okay, keep going, Andrew.
All right. Number 2 is SoFi Stadium.
I can see that,
Number 3 is US Bank Stadium.
which is
That
where
is-
the Vikings play.
Correct.
Right.
And then number 4 is Arrowhead, Kansas City.
Okay.
Number 5 is
Same type of
Lumen
vibe.
Field.
Same type of vibe. There's nothing louder. It's like a college atmosphere, so I can see why they're up there if that's the experience. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Number 5.
All right. And then you have number 5, Lumen Field, which is Seattle.
Okay.
Number 6 is Allegiant
Vegas.
Vegas. Then AT&T Stadium, Dallas.
How about them
That's
boys?
number 7.
Okay.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is the Falcons. The Acrisure Stadium, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then Caesars Dome for Saints.
Stop.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that list actually sounds like they went off that list was built off of like experience, right? That's what that seems like. It wasn't about the amenities and the design of it.
Yeah,
Would you
I
agree?
mean, because I've never been to a game in the Dome, but in New Orleans. But when I've been there in the past, I've actually like toured it, and it's a very like it is a feeling. Like the Dome is just very like there's like a feeling about it that is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's
Ashley-
like a magical feeling about it. Like it
Ashley-
may not be the newest. And it may not be the brightest and
Definitely
the
that old.
biggest anymore, but there's like a feeling, a magical feeling about it that you can't like recreate. It's special.
I guess.
Ashley, I threw up my arm because I wanted you guys to see the goosebumps there. They're still there. I don't know if we can do a tight there, but do a tight and don't get my ashy elbows. But if you can do a tight there, I have goosebumps when Ashley said that. Remember, my last cup of tea was with the New Orleans Saints. Okay, I didn't get a chance to play out, but I was there for about 4 or 5 weeks. And when I tell you that that was the best environment that I've ever been in. Like it was rocking, just the whole culture. They're partying, they're drinking. I've never experienced anything like that. So Ashley is dead on. And it's interesting that you felt that, Ashley, and there wasn't even a game going on.
Well, I tell people this all the time, Brandon. Like, I don't know if Andrew, have you been to New Orleans?
Yeah. Well, not New Orleans, but Louisiana.
No, but New
yeah.
Orleans, like
No,
specifically.
not
Have
New
you been
Orleans.
to New Orleans?
I played in that stadium in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, like I tell people this all the time, Brandon. Like New Orleans is one of my favorite cities in the U.S. I've been twice, and I tell this story all the time. Every single time that I've gone, the 2 times that I've gone, there's only been a few places in the world that I've stepped off the plane and I immediately felt like the energy, like the magic. And Jamaica's one of them. The minute I step off the plane in Jamaica, like there's an energy shift like in my body. I can just feel it. And then New Orleans, I felt the exact same thing. Being in the city and just getting off the plane, like you just feel you're in a place that has so much history and so much magic and is just special. Like New Orleans is just one of those places in the world that I felt like that. And so it doesn't surprise me that I felt that in a stadium when there was no game. The city just feels like that. It's a special place.
Ashley, I lived in Uptown. I had a little shotgun house in Uptown, okay? And so beautiful, but very small. And at the corner of our street was like a 5-star restaurant. It should have been a Michelin, right? And so when you talk about Zion, we make fun of him of like eating.
I get it.
I get it.
Me too.
Food good down there, huh?
Yo, I was eating these damn oysters and catfish and all this. What did they call it? The gumbo?
Gumbo. Brandon, the first
beignet.
time I put a beignet in my mouth,
no. And a
I
beignet is
cannot
different.
explain to you the feeling that went through my body. Like the first time I went to
Beignet.
Cafe Du Monde and I had a beignet with hot chocolate, the first bite, I felt like I just fell in love for the first time. It was the greatest feeling of my life. Like,
listen, Ashley, I'm gonna give a little something to our fellas here, right? While we're on this topic, fellas, if you wanna really surprise your lady, just take her there for a day or 2 days and say, babe, we just gonna go on a nice little dining experience, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then go, bro. It's that magical.
It's that
Ashley's
good.
right.
Oh
It's
my
that
God.
magical.
Appreciate the pro tip.
Here you go, Corey.
free game,
I'm
Corey.
taking
go.
notes. I'm taking notes. That might have to be
I'll
the
talk
move.
to you about Paris later, Corey.
Okay.
What not to do in Paris.
Yeah.
Ooh, Paris is so sexy, so romantic.
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon.
Back to football.
Moving on. Go ahead, Corey.
Hey, well, listen. This conversation started because the Tennessee Titans released their early look at their $2.1 billion stadium that is set to open in 2027. Let's take a look at it. It actually looked pretty cool.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire.
Cut this quick.
I like it. I've actually Nashville's on one of my places to visit. One of my friend Liv has been a few times, but I think that stadium is perfect for the city of Nashville. There's a big music scene, country music specifically. That is a perfect stadium for concerts. You saw what it looked like when there were concerts being held there. So outside of football, which obviously, you know, they have a huge fan base out there in Tennessee, and it'll do fantastic in that aspect. I think that's an incredible entertainment setup, just from the different tiers. The suites look very Nashville, it's brick and like very like country music, and you know, Taylor Swift's gonna have a ball when she brings her tour there. Like,
Absolutely, right?
probably in 2027, her next sellout tour. But I think it's gonna do great. So it's one of the
Listen.
reasons I'm gonna add Nashville to my list of places to visit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Nashville's dope, Ashley. It's a different type of energy, different type of vibe there. Obviously, a lot of country there, but there's still something there for us. There's a lot of soul in Nashville as well. So you will enjoy Nashville. Great food, great scene, great town, cool people. For me, Corey, the thing that came up for me is I think it's dope. I love seeing how these owners, these cities are embracing like the experience around the game and the stadium, right? Like you see more retail, you see more hotels there. So, you know, I think the first to do this was like Robert Kraft. I think he was the first to do this in New England. Robert Kraft building out all of that stuff around it. So now you see SoFi Stadium and others following this same blueprint. What I loved about the design, because you guys know I loved design, I love how they kept it Nashville. They didn't go overboard, right? They didn't go like what the Dallas Cowboys did or futuristic like, you know, Las Vegas Raiders. Why you laughing?
Because you can't be a Cowboys fan throwing shots. You see, you already failing multiple tests. You're trying to join the bandwagon, and you throw in the squad under the bus. That's strike one. But continue.
Right, but also Ashley, you know, little bit of bitter here, right? I would never play in this stadium. I never played in Atlanta's new stadium. I never played in Minnesota's new stadium. I played in every single stadium except the New Orleans Superdome, Mercedes Dome. You know, that was the only one. And then now all these new stadiums are popping up and they're super cool. And I won't be able to go out there and just crush those DBs and score touchdowns and do my little dance in the end zone. So it's a little bitter.
Just come out of retirement then.
Well, listen, maybe I'm 39. My back hurt. I worked out the other day at House of Athlete. I did a couple squats, L4, L5, my lumbar area. I need to get a little surgery or something. I'm jacked.
Oh my
But I'm
God.
good though. It's crazy. I think I need a couple surgeries.
couple.
Just some cleanup surgeries, but I actually made out well. 13 years playing the game at a high level, very violent. But like, you know, I feel great. I probably need to get my right big toe cleaned out, Ashley. You know, my left ankle, I probably got to get that cleaned out. There's some floating bone spurs there. In L4, L5, my chiropractor is saying that I don't need surgery. I just need to do more rehab and I should be fine and more core exercises. But there can be a surgery on the horizon. But when you look at all these other athletes, I'm in great shape compared to some of our legends.
Yeah.
Okay now.
Wait, before we move on, you know, from this stadium conversation, Nashville, they've never have hosted a Super Bowl, right? So many are believing that this move is to increase their odds of possibly landing one, right? So, yeah, and there's also, too, after their success with the draft in 2019, they were kind of already becoming a city that was going to be in the talks for landing the Super Bowl. How do you think, how soon do you think they'll land one, though, you know, once this opens?
I would think pretty soon or on the horizon. I mean, I don't know. I believe, Andrew, can you bring up the next teams that after Vegas, I believe is it? But no, after Vegas, it's who that has a Super Bowl?
I can't remember who has.
Is it back to Miami?
No, I don't. I think it might actually be or Tampa.
I wonder why they want to bring the Super Bowl to Miami.
Well, Miami, there's no Super Bowl there's no experience better than Miami. None.
Or it hasn't not been determined yet.
I think it has a little bit to do with.
Oh, you have it? Andrew has it.
It's New Orleans.
Oh, that's who it was. New Orleans, yes, because I was like, I'm so excited it's back in New Orleans, yes. So New Orleans has 2024.
Yep.
No, 2025, technically.
And then it looks like San Francisco will have 2026.
Oh,
I did hear that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it is, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think the NFL can change that. Like, I think they can go ahead and give say, for example, it's open in 2027, but let's say the Tennessee Titans Stadium was going to open in 2026. They can give San Francisco 2027, push them back a year, and give Tennessee 2026 if they want. I do believe they're able to, like, manipulate that a little bit. They just still have to give the Titans San Francisco a Super Bowl, but they can move it. They've done that in the past. Like, a stadium hasn't been ready in time and they've just moved the date back. But I'm not crazy about San Francisco.
Yeah, and 27 is still undecided right now, so it's still up in the air.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about San Francisco.
And Ashley, I know you think highly of me and you think that I'm Google. You know I know a lot of stuff, but this one I don't know. But, you know, usually I'm always right? So.
Well, how do you feel about a Super Bowl in San Francisco? Tell me that.
I don't like it at all. It's just like there's some cities, right, where they might be too small or too big. I don't vibe with San Francisco at all, really. Like, I don't care about, like, just going out there.
I've never been, so.
There's a huge struggle and challenge, you know, with the homeless population out there. So they got to get that under control. It's just a weird vibe there. It's beautiful, but it's just a weird vibe in San Francisco. I never enjoyed going out there to play the Raiders or the 49ers at all.
Well, the stadium is in Santa Clara, which is next to San Jose. So I don't know if you wouldn't have to necessarily be in San Francisco. JP's, as a California guy, is correcting me. San Francisco is 45 minutes away from the stadium. So you wouldn't be in San Francisco. You'd be in Santa Clara and most likely hanging out in San Jose, but I still don't think that's any better.
It's more to offer in San Francisco, to being honest. Go ahead.
Fun fact, I opened up that stadium. Is it Levi Stadium? Yeah, 3 touchdowns, opening night.
Oh.
Chicago Bears.
Wow.
That's tough.
A little self-promotion.
Brandon, would you, before we move on from this topic, I mean, obviously Miami, I think we should get another one at some point in time. Miami Super Bowl was my first time ever working the Super Bowl, and I thoroughly enjoyed having it down here. The traffic sucked, but hopefully by then we'll have our train system. What about it going back to New York? Or / New Jersey? How would you feel about that?
Did you know like what? New York was cool. I don't vibe with the cold weather Super Bowls. It's Super Bowls aren't meant to be outside in snow, bad weather.
Tell that to when they hosted it in Minnesota, Brandon.
Remember when they had Dallas? Remember when they had the one? Oh, that was free. It was like 10 below. But remember they had the one in Dallas, and we thought Dallas was going to be a vibe, Ashley, but it was like an ice storm.
Yeah, it was a bad weather. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, those Super Bowls don't work. You know, I think you keep it in the warm weather places. And that's why I love Miami, right? Because the Super Bowl is a festival. The Super Bowl has so many things happening all week long leading up to the biggest game in sports. So let's keep it in warm weather places and let everybody enjoy it.
It sucks because New York has the vibe, like the parties and the location and the clubs and the restaurants and like
Yes.
for the party aspect, but for the actual
Yes.
game, it would suck.
Yeah,
I
I'd
can
say
hear
so
that.
too.
But then also moving around is tough. It's tough.
No, because I mean, I feel like there's most of the time the events are in the city in New York. The only thing that you have to go to Jersey for is the actual game. So like you're moving around the city like a normal day. It's just traffic, but there's so many different ways to get to the same place that and it's so much going on the island of Manhattan that like you may not even all be at the same. I just feel like from a party aspect, it's dope. But from the game, it doesn't work. I agree.
Boils down to the
You
weather.
know, you
Right.
know what was a shocking, surprisingly dope Super Bowl was when it was in Duval, when it was in Jacksonville. I was still in college, I believe, and we drove up. When I say dope, it was dope.
Really?
That was the Super Bowl where the Patriots, I believe,
Eagles, right?
and
Eagles,
the
yeah.
Eagles
Yep.
played.
It was in
Remember,
2005.
Remember, Terrible Owens came back 6-7 weeks later from a broken leg, and it was a legendary performance. It was great.
I don't know if I could
That
party
was
in
a dope
Jacksonville though.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, you had a first-hand experience, so I can't speak to it. But yeah, to your point, Ashley, I was like, it's hard to.
I just
to
can't
picture a good
imagine
time in
myself like
Jacksonville.
catching a vibe in a Jacksonville club.
Can I just say that Brandon has a good point because from 2000, 23 years, the Super Bowl has been held in either Arizona, Florida, or Texas over 10 times.
Yeah, warm weather,
It's-
baby.
it's
I wish the
insane.
Way to
NBA
go.
would take notice.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go at the end of the
But-
day. But all right, we're going to switch gears. We have some news out of the NBA. The Phoenix Suns, they're retiring the jerseys of both Sean Marion and Amar'e Stoudemire. And they're going to induct the two into the franchise's ring, the Ring of Honor.
Dope.
They'll be the 11th and 12th players in franchise history to receive that honor. Well deserved, Ashley?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big Amar'e Stoudemire fan. Obviously, he played for my New York Knicks after his stint in Phoenix. His ex-wife Alexis is a good friend of mine, so I know that the family is very happy about this. Excited. I'm excited for them. Can't wait to see them front and center. I'm glad Stat is getting his, due and his due diligence and his moment. I think a lot of people, when they think about him, they think about the injuries. And they don't really focus on how dominant he was when he was at his best. And I think a lot of his best years were in Phoenix. The Knicks got a few of them right before, the injuries kind of took their toll. And then Carmelo Anthony came and just, the focus was on him. But I'm excited. It's well-deserved. It's about time. It took them a little bit longer than I expected to retire his jersey. But I'm excited for both him and Sean. It's dope. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, this is awesome. And Ashley, when I first saw this, I was like, damn, why did it take them so long? But I forgot that bro been playing over in Israel for the past few years. I mean, he retired maybe a year and a half ago, but he's won several championships overseas. So, usually they wait until your basketball career is over and you really put them on the shelf or you throw them on the wires outside. Look, this is awesome. I think what's next for him is the big Hall of Fame, right? You got to think about what he was able to accomplish. I think he was there in Phoenix, Ashley, for 8 years. And they're the ones that were the first to establish this fast-paced offense. They coined their offense seven or less. I believe that, I might be chopping it up a little bit. But basically, it was just fast-paced. Nash came in a couple years later because they had Stephon Marbury there and Marion. So that was the first big three. Then they brought Nash back, and then the rest was history. This dude was athletic. This dude was rookie of the year. This dude was explosive. And this is back in the day. Like, look at him, his frame. And he didn't come in this way, right? His rookie year, 2002, he didn't come in like that chisel. So this was when they was banging in the paint still. And so he's going up against dogs, bro. Like that early 2000s NBA was legendary when it came to the bigs, and he was able to use his athleticism and really get after it. So off of the first 8 years, I believe, fact check that for me.
You're correct.
Those years in Phoenix, bro, like off of that alone, he deserves to not only be in the ring, but he also deserves to be in the NBA Hall of Fame. So I can't wait for that moment for him. And then when, he got to New York, Ashley already hit that. He spent maybe 5 years there. And he had some injuries, but dude was next level, man. So when you evolve the game and push the game forward the way they did, that fast-paced offense, you deserve some place in the NBA history, and that's the highest honor, and he will be there.
Yep. Moving on. We have some more news out of the NBA. I really like this one. The Lakers will honor Kobe Bryant and daughter Gigi with statue outside of Crypto.com Arena. They're going to do that next year.
Love that.
On August 8th, and, the year would be 2024, at the time. So the date, of course, will read 8/8/2024. You like this, that they're doing for?
I absolutely love
Kobe
this.
and his daughter?
We spoke about how, when is Kobe Bryant going to get his statue? And I think that them incorporating Gigi with his statue and with his legacy and among the Laker greats that are in front of that arena was just a no-brainer and just a beautiful gesture. I mean, she was so much part of Kobe's legacy, and obviously the way that we tragically lost the both of them. I think that they will forever, even more so, you will always think of the two of them together. But I absolutely love this. You have the Mambacita together, and I just think it's a really beautiful legacy. I mean, when you think of the Los Angeles Lakers, you'll forever think of Kobe, but you also think of Gigi. And I think it's a beautiful gesture for the Bryant family, for Vanessa and, his remaining daughters, that they will forever be engraved within the Lakers organization, within the city of LA. And it's a beautiful gesture. It's still so surreal that neither one of them are here. But, the Mamba is forever, and, the Mamba family is forever. And I think that this is a beautiful tribute to all of them. So I love this.
Yeah, Ashley. Just goosebumps again thinking about this and seeing this statue. I was actually in LA in Calabasas when this happened. It was just combine season. It had Gabe Davis, the receiver for the Buffalo Bills, out there training him, and never forget sitting inside of Travell Gaines, one of his locations, and some support staff running in saying, "Man, Kobe's gone. Kobe just went down," and walking out and seeing the smoke in the air, and then also getting on the highway and driving by the crash site. That was very traumatic. I want to say this. This is a very, the last couple of years, you can only imagine how tough it's been on Vanessa Bryant, and I think she's done a phenomenal job of just protecting the legacy. Her family's legacy, and also pushing it forward. They've been very intentional and very thoughtful, right? And I just appreciate that. They didn't rush with Nike. Nike's been doing some big things, over the last, couple of months, some announcements, and I think they're doing some cool things coming up here in the next month or so. And then the same thing with the Lakers, right? I think she's done a phenomenal job of just protecting the legacy and pacing herself, and just being very thoughtful. I can't wait to see what they continue to do and how they bring others along, and then also how they grow the women's game as well through Gigi's legacy and her and her part in this. The last thing I would say is this, Ashley. I want to see Kobe Bryant as the new logo. I know people have talked about this in the past, but that's what I want to see. Do you see this ever happening?
I think eventually. I think that the league has done a really good job, outside of the Bryant family, much to all the points that you made. I think the league has done a phenomenal job in keeping Kobe's legacy alive. They're constantly honoring him. They're constantly talking about him. I think the Lakers have done an incredible job of keeping his legacy alive, because I think that there's never been... Obviously, we've experienced death with players. Bill Russell, and he passed away, but he lived a very full and, monumental life. I think Kobe, it was so sudden, and we never got to experience Kobe, not the player. We've always only seen him in that light. So I think that the league has done a phenomenal job of keeping his legacy alive. And I think a lot of that is because it happened so suddenly. I think that there was already those conversations happening about him making him the new logo. I know that there were some reports that, Kobe, while he was alive and those conversations were happening, he tried not to, get too involved. And, he was like, listen, that's outside of me. You guys figure that out. But I think that eventually you have to kind of change it. I mean, I think that Kobe was so influential to so many of the players that we're seeing now and that we're going to see come into the league, that if you're going to go ahead and move with the times, you would also think that you would have to move the logo with the times. I mean, there's not a player in the league now under the age of 25, or I'll even go a little bit higher, maybe 27, who you can't see a piece of Kobe in them, or you can't ask and say they were inspired by Kobe in some way, shape, or form. I mean, that is the definition of impactful. And I think that if you're going to honor the changing of the ways of the NBA, I feel like you have to go ahead and even consider, I mean, Jerry West, no disrespect, but nobody's playing like Jerry West anymore. Nobody's inspired by Jerry West anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I would change it. Does the league make that move? I don't know.
So quick question. How did y'all do that? Like, did y'all already have this graphic already thrown up there?
Man, they work quick. They work quick over here. I had to give them a shout out when the picture was up.
Whoa.
Yeah, man.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that was beautiful.
Right.
Ashley, top three.
Top three
Right.
what?
No, well, I'm just thinking about this.
Oh, okay.
That was a
We
statement,
don't
I
put
guess.
listen, we talk about Kobe all the time, and he gets his flowers, his crown. He's the second best NBA player of all time.
Okay.
And I feel like it should be undeniable. It shouldn't even be a debate. I don't care about everybody that played, like Bill Russell, etc. LeBron, love LeBron. But it's Michael Jordan, and then there's Kobe. Like, think of it. He is basketball. Like, his approach, he is basketball. That is the example, right? Now, obviously, there's some things that came up, right? Like, sometimes he was too intense, but at the end of the day, man, nobody loved basketball more than Kobe Bryant. I can't wait for this day to come when he becomes the logo. It'll be great for basketball. That's the last thing I'll say about this.
Hey, hopefully it happens. Hopefully we see it happen. All right, we're going to move on, but we're going to actually go back into the NFL. So as I said at the top of the show, Sean Payton, he established an interesting list of rules for his players to follow throughout this preseason. And it was funny. I mean, Brandon, we were talking about this yesterday, right? Like, there's only a few old school coaches maybe left in the NFL. Maybe probably like you can probably list them, on a hand. But Sean Payton was one that came up. But let's look at these rules that he's established. I want you to tell me if, fair or not.
Head coach.
So one is, which makes sense, uniforms off after you're done playing. That is starters who maybe get like a series. You kind of talked about it at the top of the show.
Are these for players or his coaching staff?
These are for players.
Everybody.
Oh, it's for everybody.
Everyone.
So coaching staff, players, everybody. Okay,
Right.
Got it.
Uniforms off after you're done playing. Then we go into like the ones that kind of raise some eyebrows in my opinion.
That's a good one.
No sunglasses. Maybe you can give the reasoning, Brandon, later on, but no Gilligan hats, a.k.a. bucket hats. Sean Payton calls them Gilligan hats. And no interviews during the game. I guess that's reasonable. But basically, I just want you to break down maybe those two in the middle, Brandon. Like, are these necessary, or is Sean Payton doing too much?
Well, let's keep this up here. Keep this graphic up here. Jazz team doing a phenomenal job with these graphics. You guys been in y'all bag for the last couple of months. That first one, that's Sean Payton, showing his team some love, because there's a lot of coaches out there, especially old school coaches. And I wouldn't have been surprised if this first one was actually opposite, right? Because old school coaches, they're like, yo, you're on the sideline, keep your equipment on. So this is him showing love, saying, you're done after the first drive, Russell Wilson, Cortland Finnegan, Cortland Sutton, right? Take off your stuff. It's okay. Go put your baseball cap on. The sunglasses and the hat, the two that you want to discuss, Corey, this is simple. That's this old school approach coming, right? Like it's a feel thing for these coaches. They walk in a locker room. They see how people are dressing, how they're acting, and they just say if it works for them, then they're okay with it. If it doesn't, then they make these rules. It's his squad. It's his team. He controls everything in the business and in the building, excuse me. What you've been seeing lately over the last couple years, and I don't know where I stand here, but remember, even Lamar, I love this shot, right? Lamar sitting there on the sideline, and he got the dark shades on with the big chunk on, right? Like really pushing the culture forward, right? That's the stuff that they don't understand, right? And so I'm okay with guys wearing chunks. I'm okay with guys wearing some form of glasses. But I think what Sean Payton is trying to do there with the glasses thing is say, look, let's keep it, in this spirit of our uniform, right? Like if y'all want to do that before or after games. But I played with Sean Payton. Sean Payton brought me in. And when I tell you he's cool, but he's also straight business. But after the games, you'll see when they win, the lights are going to be off. They're going to have strobe lights on and disco lights on, and they're going to have music, and he's going to be right in the center dancing. And then right after that, he going to some bar or going to the crib, and he going to get lit, right? So Sean Payton is a guy that you would want to play for.
Ashley, your thoughts on this?
I'm very confused because can we put the graphic up there for a second? It says first preseason game Friday after the starters are pulled. So can I wear a bucket hat before they're pulled? Can I wear sunglasses before they're pulled? Like, is this just after they're no longer in the game that I'm not able to do that? And if that's the case, what's the reasoning behind that? Like, no interviews during the game. So if freaking ESPN comes over to me and wants a soundbite, I got to say, oh, I can't. So I don't understand the rationale behind this. It's preseason, not the Super Bowl. I don't understand.
Ashley, we talked about this yesterday with what's his name, Eric Bieniemy, right? Like coming in tough, like you're laying the law of the land down, right? Like here's how we're going to operate. Here are the rules, right? And so you have to be able to put those in and make sure people are following. So that's all this is.
What time is the game, Corey?
They're what you talking about tonight?
The Broncos game.
They're not playing tonight.
Well, what time is the game that he's referring to? First season,
I think they play tomorrow. It's a night game tomorrow.
It's Friday at 10.
Yeah.
10 p.m.
against Arizona.
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Against Arizona. So it's in Arizona.
Yes.
So it's 9. So it's 7 o'clock on the West Coast, Brandon. The sun is still out. Matter of fact, they're going to be playing when the sun is setting. So I can't wear sunglasses to protect my eyes from the sun as it's going. What do you want me out there squinting?
Basically, let me put it this way, right? So basically what he's saying is, right, all that coolness, and this is how he ran it, and I loved it. This is how he ran it in New Orleans, and this whole vibe, it was just amazing. All week, you're locked in your focus. All that loud, crazy music when we got 7-on-7 and 9-on-7 and team on team, like all of that, we locked in. They do 1 million walkthroughs, right? They handle their business, and they freaking party after W's and wins, and that's when he do all of that. So what Sean Payton is saying is, don't come out here with all your necklaces, all your jewelry, like that vibe, that shit is for before and after. Now, I'm okay with leaning into some of that, right? But I think that's what Sean Payton is here saying is like, no, this is my definition of professionalism in this building.
But
that's what I think he's saying, Ashley.
How does wearing a hat or not wearing a hat or wearing sunglasses or not wearing sunglasses, how does that affect the win-loss column? Like these aren't even rules that like affect the game. Like these aren't even rules that would even have any type of implication on the outcome of the game. That's why I'm so confused.
I disagree.
Wearing a hat is going to determine whether or not you win a game or not.
Let me tell you. So Justin Herbert came out again yesterday, and he was like, "No, nobody asked me to do Netflix, right?" And he said I would be boring on season 2 anyways because I kind of like, not being a distraction. So the whole thing, the number one goal for us, are these athletes and these coaches every single week, every single year is eliminate all those distractions. That outside noise, don't listen to it. So how you do that is they really want you to come in and focus on the X's and O's and the balls in your assignment. That's it. They don't want you. They think it's a distraction to do a podcast. They think it's a distraction to go out. They think it's a distraction when some of these coaches doing dances and celebrations. These old school coaches, they even think it's a distraction, Ashley, the way you dress, right? Think about how much effort some of our guys put in to how they dress, right? So you're on the sideline, you're trying to look cool. He wants to take those damn glasses off and pay attention to the game. That's what he wants, Ash. So it can be a distraction for some of these guys. I can see what you're saying, but I also understand where Coach Payton is here on this as well. Because I've seen guys so many times just be, distracted by the noise.
I can understand to a degree the concept of being of uniformity, right? Like, for example, the Yankees have a notorious rule where none of the guys can have facial hair. You can't have a beard if you play for the New York Yankees. It's a rule that has been in the clubhouse since the beginning of time. So if you look, none of those guys are always clean cut. They don't have crazy beards. It's just not allowed. That's why Johnny Damon, when he joined the Yankees, had to get rid of his. It's just been like this unspoken rule. Right. Not unspoken, it's spoken. It's been a notorious rule for the New York Yankees since the beginning of time. I get that. So it's a clean cut look. It's the pinstripes. I get that. But I don't necessarily understand the bucket hat thing when you play an outdoor sport. I guess I'm confused by that. I can understand having your guys every Sunday. You guys can't come in here in sweatpants and pajamas. I want every guy in suits on game day. That I get. It's about professionalism. It's about looking as a team. You play good. You look good. You play good type of thing. I get that.
You feel good. You play good. You get paid good.
In high school,
finish it, Ashley. Don't half-ass it.
Sorry.
It's the same.
In high school, they used to make the basketball team wear ties on game day. And I get that. I guess I'm confused about the bucket hat thing in an outdoor sport in a preseason game. I don't really understand the rationale behind that. So I get what you're saying about the uniformity and being a team and looking good. I get all that. I guess I'm just confused about these particular set of rules. That's all. But
well, listen. I understand the bucket hat one, but before we move on, please write these down for me, Ashley, because you can don't ever again botch this, please.
What did I do?
You look good. You didn't finish it.
Oh, my bad.
You look good. You feel good. You feel good. You play good.
Got it.
You play good. You get paid good.
I wasn't going through all that.
Corey.
Yeah.
Let's watch this. Add this to it. Another edition or another segment of What Does Corey Know? Who?
Deion Sanders.
First. Who?
Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
I said it before the question was even posed.
Everybody knows Deion Sanders said that.
That's a famous clip. That's a super famous
Come on
clip.
now. And like that, just that phrase, it goes with no one better than Deion Sanders anyway, So
Prime.
Yeah. But all right, moving on, y'all. I think this is going to be a good debate because I was taken back by this ranking. ESPN dropped their wide receiver U rankings heading into next season. So what they did was basically just take all active receivers, group them obviously with their colleges, and then rank them that way. So at number 1, we got USC. And representing USC, Jordan Addison, Drake London, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Juju Smith, Michael Pittman. Number 2, Ohio State. JSN, Garrett Wilson, offensive rookie player of the year. Chris Olave, who was the runner-up. Terry McLaurin, and Michael Thomas. And you got LSU. Got Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. I'm talking about like maybe 2 top 5 receivers in the NFL. Then you got Bama, then you got Oklahoma. B, does this list sit right with you?
Yeah, keep this up for a little bit, BC, please. It doesn't. They're close, but they're off.
Yeah.
Okay? So, Ashley, how I would rearrange this, I would probably put LSU number 1.
Right.
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson alone, right? You can take off the rest. And that's no disrespect. We're talking about Odell Beckham Jr.,
right.
Jarvis Landry. He's still out there. He hasn't retired. I can understand that people may forgot about Jarvis Landry because of the last 2-3 years. But Jarvis Landry, we're talking about those 2 guys, their first 3-4 years in the NFL, no one had starts to their careers like, they have, right? Not even Jerry Rice, not Randy Moss. Catches, touchdowns, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. So, look, they're number 1 for me. Then I'm going Alabama. Yep. Okay. And I get it. Julio hasn't really, balled like at that level. He's out of his prime for the last couple of years, but he still should be on this list. Wait, okay, Julio Jones not on there. Jalen Waddle had how many yards last year? Woo, 1,300 yards.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, he's probably the best top 3 route runner in football. Hasn't had that one breakout year. I think it's coming this year. Calvin Ridley's back. We know about him. So I'm putting them 2. USC, I don't know how they put USC at 1. Then I'm going at 3. I'm going Ohio State.
You know something.
And then at 4, I'm going with a team that's not here. And that will be the Clemson. What is it? What are they called? The
Clemson
what are they
Tigers.
called?
The Tigers. That's a
Whatever
good
the hell
call,
they
though.
call.
They
Y'all
got
know I
a lot
don't
of
watch no
guys.
college football. That's how bad it is. I don't watch no college football.
Right.
But here's who you have, right? Still active from Clemson. T. Higgins.
Yep.
Okay. Is T. Higgins not a dog? Okay. Another receiver that you have here is Hunter Renfrow, however you say it. I like the kid. Had a big drop last year, 2 drops, got in Josh McDaniels' doghouse, but he's still nice. And then you have DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, my God.
DeAndre Hopkins and T. Higgins alone will have you right where you need to be on the top 5. But then they have another guy there, Ashley. And I'll finish up with this. Mike Williams.
Thank you. I was
from
going to say,
the
don't forget him.
Los Angeles Chargers, right? So why isn't the Clemson Tigers, that's what they're called, Corey?
Yep,
Why
Clemson
isn't it
Tigers.
Clemson Tigers on this list? That's my question.
That's a great point. And
I feel like JP wrote this list. He put USC number 1.
He probably did.
I feel like he might have wrote this list and tweaked it a little bit because
Yeah.
Does it look like JP work?
I don't know. USC being number 1 sounds like JP did this.
Can somebody help me? How do you say the kid's name? Renfrow?
Hunter Renfrow. I know
Y'all know I be botching names.
Yeah.
I be botching words.
That's a tough
Ren
one.
and
I need
then
to go
Fro.
back. Is there some type of class I can take to get my English back right?
I don't know, man.
I don't know if
I
it's
think-
your English, maybe pronunciation. Is that what you're talking
But
about?
see, I don't even know grammar, spelling.
You got to hit some
Y'all know
yellow
I
leather,
started
red
off
leather
in,
before
slow- I had
before the
Yellow
episode.
leather, red leather.
You got to hit a couple of
True
them.
story. I started off in boom boom classes. I had a slow learning disability.
He said boom boom.
What's
classes.
boom
That's
boom
what
I
they-
never heard that
classes?
term.
That sounded wild. I wasn't sure what
Boom
that
boom?
was at first.
What's a boom boom
boom.
class?
So that was something that we at UCF when you got there, you weren't like I forgot what we called those classes. Basically, your
remedial?
scores, everything wasn't great, but you were still there, and you had like I forget the name of these damn classes, but they really wasn't real classes.
That's crazy.
And so we called it the football team. We called them boom boom classes.
That's crazy.
Hey, don't worry,
boom
B.
boom.
Down here, we call them portables. I was in some of them.
Hey yo, hey,
I can't relate. I was always in honors and AP. So
I ain't lived that life. I ain't lived that honors life.
I was in AP psychology, AP English. I got college credits before I even stepped foot on a college campus. Can't relate.
That's all right. Salute.
Hey,
I
for real.
graduated with a 3.0 high school and college. I cheated only 2-3 times. That's it.
better than
So
me.
I did my thing, but like spelling and all that stuff wasn't for me.
I graduated high school with a 3.0, and then I graduated college magna cum laude with a 3.8.
Whoa.
Ooh,
I did.
Can we?
Yeah.
you was cheating.
Congrats.
You was cheating.
I wasn't cheating. Truthfully, I was literally half a point away from graduating summa cum laude, which would have been a 3.9. I was half a point. I was sick for like a week.
Dang, Ashley.
That's tough.
I
And
know.
your business. And your
Ashley
business.
Thank
barely
you.
walked that
Ask me
stage,
So
what-
for
right?
everybody who's
school
always
for.
coming at me on social media talking about, oh, you just a pretty face. Not only am I cute, but I'm smarter than you. So don't come for me.
She has a great personality.
Hold her back.
And a great personality.
Was that a crowd thing? You
Hold
had
her
some
back.
crowd applause in the background, too.
I know. Clap it up.
That's all right.
Brandon Marshall here, Ashley Nicole Moss, super smart, big brain, Corey in the cut, Woo out west, BC in the booth, Manderville somewhere off camera, Sirius XM Faction Talk Channel 103, and we're here on YouTube every single day. We're YouTubers, guys. We're
That part.
YouTubers. What's our next topic on YouTube, Corey?
So I actually got another debate for y'all. This was one that they were having on the timeline the other
We
day.
don't need no more debates. Is it going to be a good debate or a bad debate? I feel like me and Ashley, we only get one debate, like bad debate a week.
I don't know. You guys might be on either side of this argument, but I think it might be a good one. It's a fair one. Who are you taking in their prime, J.J. Watt or Aaron Donald?
Woo.
Let me read off their stats. J.J. Watt, 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time first team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL sack leader. I think that was a one stat to keep in mind. Aaron Donald, 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 7-time first team All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, both got some crazy accolades, but like the question says, who are you taking in their prime?
Listen, Ashley, we had this debate. Remember we had LT on the show?
Yeah.
And we were talking about the best defensive players of all time, right? LT's always in that conversation. Hell, for probably, he probably gets the majority vote when you have that conversation. Going back to when I was playing, I played from 2006 to 2018. And I was standing on the table for 99. Well, they're both 99. I was standing on the table for J.J. Watt. What I saw J.J. Watt do was unbelievable. Yeah. And I was like, this dude is going to go down as the greatest defensive player ever and potentially top 5 NFL player ever. But what ended up happening is bodies start breaking down, right? And for that reason, I got to go with Aaron Donald, right? Like Aaron Donald, and this is hard. Some people may think this is easy, but you got to go back and watch prime time and prime J.J. Watt. I told y'all this story before. Playing with I think it was the Chicago Bears, playing down in Houston. He won that game himself. One dude wiped out our entire offensive line. Never seen anything like this before. But that's Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald doing that longer. And so Aaron Donald's still going. Aaron Donald is a force. They all play all 4 positions across all positions on the line. It's just next level. But Aaron Donald was just something special, for him to go out there and dog rag and manhandle 350, 360-pound men that freaking bench 1,000 pounds and squat 1,000 pounds, and then be able to run and move like a safety? You kidding me? The game has never seen anything like this. Hell, the only person I would say, the last thing I would say here, Ashley, the next person to challenge Aaron Donald is going to be your boy Micah Parsons. But Aaron Donald wins this one for me.
I gotta agree with you. I mean, it's a hard question, like you said. J.J. Watt for 10 seasons was Houston's defense. I mean, he was where it started and where it ended. Now, I know some people will knock against the fact that in 10 seasons they only made the playoffs 4 times, 3 times while he was there. Now, that's not just a defensive thing, though. That's an offensive thing as well. So you got to look at the whole picture. So I'm not even going to compare playoff appearances and Super Bowl appearances or lack thereof for J.J. Watt with Aaron Donald, because that's a team effort. Just looking at them as singular individuals on the field. I mean, listen, J.J. Watt was a beast in his prime. I mean, it seemed like there was nothing that he couldn't do defensively, and even offensively, he had some swagger to him. But Aaron Donald, I just feel like is something that we have never seen before, like in so many different ways, in so many different situations. It's just hard to give anybody the edge over him. I mean, he is almost like if you had to create the perfect player at his position, it would be Aaron Donald. I mean, he is something of a video game. Point. Yeah.
That's a great point, Ashley. That was excellent. Wow. That's
By the way, I was just going to say that JJ
say that again,
took
Ashley.
them.
Can you say that last point again? Hold on. Ashley just
wanted that point again.
Like,
no, if you had to create the perfect player at his position, it would be Aaron Donald. He has every single attribute you would want in a player, in one person. It's unreal. It's almost like it's a video game, essentially.
Mr. 99.
I think the only person maybe close to that, or probably has that, is Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback position. Perfect, right?
That might be a good comparison.
I'm saying, like, I like that right now at the receiver position.
Yeah.
Who's the maybe who is the Aaron Donald at the receiver position, quarterback position, safety position, corner, right? That would be a great little segment there.
There might not be one at every position though.
Yeah, I don't think.
Speaking.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Holmes was a great comparison, but yeah, there's not that many elite, players at their position like those two. I don't know. I don't know, B.
I don't think so. I think you got Patrick Mahomes. Was cornerback, like perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can talk about it another time, but I don't know. But that was excellent. And,
What would-
you know,
Thank you. What was the stat you had for me, Woo?
So J.J. Watt from 2011 to 2020 played for the Texans, and they went to the playoffs 10 times but only won 4.
Really? They went to
Yeah.
the Texans went to the playoffs 10 times?
Yeah, from 2011
Really?
to 2019.
Right. I know.
I thought in 10.
Will,
I
can we get a Can we
fact check the fact checker?
I thought they only went like 3 or 4 times.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm
like, the
looking at it right
Texans-
here. 2011,
I know he played.
12,
It was 10 seasons he played with the Texans.
From
But I thought in those
2011.
10 seasons they only went like 3 or 4 times.
No, I got them in 2011, 12, 15, 16, 18, and 19.
What the hell?
You said that's not 10?
I ain't gonna lie. All right, so look, their playoff record
Well, I'm
is
saying
4
playoff
and
games.
6.
I'm saying games. Sorry, I might have confused you guys.
Yeah,
they played
no,
10
yeah.
games,
Oh.
not 10
on.
seasons straight.
Yeah, I
That's
was about to say,
sorry about
we
that,
need
Yeah,
a
they
guys.
have-
fact checker.
But that goes all the way back to 2002.
Ashley, we just
Yeah,
wanna
that
put
goes
out-
back.
we gonna
Yeah,
put out
yeah,
one
that goes
indeed.
back far.
That goes back to like when the franchise began. So yeah.
But
they-
I'm talking specifically JJ Watt years.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's his
all
years.
honestly, all of those appearances, it would make sense for them to have come when he was there, though.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I don't know. Why did I think it was less? I thought there was only like 3 or 4.
Right.
So it's 6.
It is
So
3 or
6.
4.
So
You
6
are
No,
right.
it's 6. He said it's 6. I was off
6
by
times
it.
they went, but they played 10 games in total.
Got
I
you.
didn't-
Okay, so he just wasn't there for 4 of the appearances that they made in the playoffs, which was
Listen, I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
JJ Watt, obviously his career was plagued by injury, in his latter years. I wonder if those injuries don't happen and he has more of a career in terms of health like an Aaron Donald. Would that change your answer in this question?
Say that one more time. I got a nice little text that came through.
Okay, so
Ask the question again.
So JJ Watt obviously was plagued by injury in his career, unfortunately. It seemed like at one point it was one season after another he was injured. If he had more of a career health-wise, like Aaron Donald has had, would this change your answer in this conversation?
Yeah, I think it's whew, yes.
So it would give you...
Well, I think no. You know what? I think it'll be even, Ashley.
Ooh,
It'll
okay.
be even. Like when I tell you, all 4, like these guys play, all positions up front, okay, and they literally single-handedly won games. They're that good, unstoppable. So, now you got to look at the numbers, and maybe Woo, you can pull up the numbers like stats and et cetera, et cetera. But Ashley, like, it's just so close. Like J.J. Watt was dominant. Unstoppable. Aaron Donald is unstoppable. So this, I can't even give you a real answer right now, Ashley. I'm sorry, I can't.
I think I could. I think
Okay.
I could. I honestly think J.J. Watt might have been to answer your question. Cause
Better
you gotta
than
think-
Aaron Donald, is what
Better
you're
than
saying.
Aaron Donald. I mean, because look, if you do look at those stats that were listed in that tweet, he was a 5-time first team All Pro. If he's not hurt, he's probably 7, could possibly be 18. 8-time first team All Pro. Aaron Donald's sitting at 7 right now. He'd have more Pro Bowlers. And like I said, like I pointed out when I was going through it, I think him being the sack leader 2 times throughout his career, I'm not sure if Aaron Donald has any sack titles. I actually don't think he does. I think that's a significant stat. If you ask me, he might be a 4-time sack leader. And
No,
how
it's
can we
not. Let me tell you why it's not. This is why this is significant. J.J. Watt position is what? Defensive end, right?
He was an end.
Usually the guys who lead the league in sacks are outside.
You're right.
Now, has it happened? Absolutely. But it's harder inside as a defensive tackle,
No, it is.
right? That's a big point right there.
Throw the 2 box up,
Ford.
BC. Let them go at it. I'm tired of going at it with Brandon. Let the
Throw that
football
2
guys go at it today.
Right.
Throw the 2 box up, BC. Let's go.
No, I still like a J.J. Watt. Brandon, let me ask you this though: who would you be more, as a wide receiver? Who would you be more willing to block?
Damn, I blocked J.J. Watt, and that was easy as a wide. Dang. I'd rather block J.J. Watt. And
Really?
He's a dog. He was nasty. Aaron Donald, like, y'all remember the story? Ashley, tell him the story that quickly, the story that I always tell about when we played against him at MetLife. Remember that story?
I remember parts of it, but I don't want to butcher the story.
butcher it real quick.
No, you tell the story for the people who haven't heard it. Tell it in its full.
Basically, I think I do. Aaron Donald's teammate, defensive tackle, was getting mudded by one of our offensive linemen. And he basically looked at his teammate. I never heard this before. A guy talked to his teammate like this on the field in the middle of the game. And he looked at him. He said, if your effing ass do this again, let him do this to you again, you will never play alongside of me again, ever, right? You won't be on this field. And like grabbing him, pushing him back to the huddle type thing. So I say that because Aaron Donald is just nasty, like not dirty player, but like if I'm blocking him, he might put me in an arm bar, throw me down, jump on me type thing. Like he nasty. Yeah. And guess where he from, Ashley?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Not only Pittsburgh, from the east side, Lincoln Larmer. Ooh, something about them Lincoln Larmer boys.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like I with all that said, I think I still probably block Aaron Donald. Like maybe Brandon was easier for you because you 6'5", you freaking 240 to be able to put a body on J.J. Watt. But if you're a regular receiver size trying to block a J.J. Watt, you have no chance.
Let me show you the trick, though. Here's the trick. You can't get into that game with him, that fight, right? So you go and you engage, you make contact up high, and then you drop low. That's what you do. Or you just go low right away. So, like, it was easier to hit, like, J.J. Watt, right? Because thanks for the 2 bucks and letting the football guys go. Ashley, just take a 60
No, I'm so excited but I need Corey to bring the same energy I brought with you when we had the messy debate. Otherwise, he is banned from the 2 box. So Corey,
I mean, this ain't like Corey.
That's not what I'm asking you to do, Corey. Bring the same energy. Bring it.
I feel like this is put perfectly by one of our chat members, Lou Medic. Aaron Donald did more from his position than what JJ did from his.
I mean, can you really say that though?
Well, I'm actually attributing that to what Brandon said.
That's obviously my response to the the gentleman who had said that. But like, come on now, JJ. We talking about JJ Watt now. Maybe is he too far removed? Like, I mean, he only retired like 2 years ago.
Corey, it's just one of those debates, bro, that is just like, it's almost impossible. I think it's easier to have the discussion like who's the GOAT at this in basketball, the best receiver. That debate is easier. Who's the best receiver? I think the debate at who's the better quarterback is easier. This is hard. I'm sorry, Corey. Right. This is hard.
No, it is hard. That's why we can't really give Ashley what she wants here. It's like it's a hard debate.
Boo.
Hey, but what we're gonna do?
She's trying to force us to get messy.
Right,
exactly. All right, well, what we're gonna do though? We're gonna take a break real quick, and when we come back, we're gonna switch back to basketball. We're gonna talk Kiyan Anthony. He's been putting a lot of work in this off season. His dad, he was showing him off like a proud father. But we're gonna dive into that conversation there. What is there to be looking forward to with Kiyan Anthony? But yeah, we're gonna talk about that when we come back from this break.
Are you the best defensive player, or are you the best player to ever play football?
I'm not saying I'm the best player to ever play football.
What about defense?
Am I the best defensive player? Okay. If not, who?
Brandon?
Reggie White. Reggie White's a great player, and I put him up there in the same class as myself. Every time I walk into a room, or I pick up a paper or something, it's LT, hey, I see an article, they talk about all these people, and then always at the last, my name always shows up in the last sentence of the last paragraph, just before they say greatest of all time. Okay.
Hey, do you think you could have played in this era?
Yeah, if I didn't want a paycheck, yeah. Kick me out of the game every week. Now, but yeah, I can play in an era. I think I can. I mean, I am rugged enough to play in this era. I don't know. That's a hard question, man.
Could you have cleaned your game up though? The violence, the aggression.
Clean. That was clean as I could get it. I was clean.
Then you can't play in this era.
It might be a problem. I may have to play a different position. Maybe have to move to the inside, where it was a little easier.
So as I said right before the break, Kiyan Anthony, the son of Carmelo Anthony, he's been putting in work. He works with Chris Brickley, and that was also Carmelo Anthony's trainer, and they get their work in out of, I believe, is the Summit Gym in New York. Yeah, well, he was getting some work in with Magic guard Cole Anthony. Let's take a look at that real quick. So, I mean, Cole Anthony's a dog. Like, I really like him for the Magic. So, I mean, that's a good guy for him to be, putting some work in. What you see here, though, B? You like Kiyan Anthony?
Listen, a couple things here, guys. One, out here at Blue Wire Studios in Las Vegas at the Wynn, they always take care of us. Shout out to Maggie and the whole team here. Doing some big stuff. So shout out to the team. They always take care of I Am Athlete, all the smoke. Whenever you see, hell, it is what it is. Everybody's shooting out of the studio, so shout out to them. The second thing I would say, and this goes to the video that we just watched, is this. Ashley, K is going to be better than his dad. His father is a Hall of Famer. Would you say he's will be a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Okay. How old is he? Do we know his age?
Might be
How old is he?
16. He's like a sophomore or junior.
Kiyan
Did you
is
see
16, I believe.
We've been watching the James boys. We've been watching K. There's a few others that's coming along. Gilbert Arenas' son, a couple. We've been watching them for the past couple years. Where he was last year was he was a high school kid. That what you just saw, man, 2 years, the way his father, trains him, pushes him, the environment he puts him in 2 years, this kid could, I don't even know the rules anymore, Ashley, but this kid could be in the NBA. He's like that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, probably go to school, maybe do 1 or 2 years, but this kid is special. He got real game. He's playing defense. Look how he shoot the basketball. Look at his handle, his IQ, and doing it against, an NBA player. This is special, Ashley. Special.
I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say is he gonna be better than his dad?
Scared.
He's 16. No, he's 16, and I also think that it's kind of it's unfair to this next generation of players who have these famous dads to even put them in a situation where they're supposed to live up to their dad's career. They can have their own career. I mean, Bryce and Bronny are gonna be different than LeBron. Kiyan's going to be different than Melo. I will say I see a lot of Melo in him, from his handles to the way he releases the ball, his shot, the way he attacks the ball. I see a lot of Carmelo in him. Mm-hmm. So does he have the possibility to be better than his dad? There's always a possibility when you're learning from your dad. And the goal is to always for your kids to be better than you were. So obviously I believe that the possibility is there, but I think also the possibility is that he's going to have a career that's completely different than his dad's. And there won't even be a comparison. He may be a better defensive player than his dad. That may be the star of his game. He may
He's
win.
gonna be a superstar.
He may win chips. His dad has never won that before. You know what I mean? He may never go to the Olympics. His dad has multiple Olympic records. The careers can be drastically different. So I'm not going to put that on him. I will say, though, it's very cool to see this next wave of athletes that are specifically tied to some of our famous, some of our favorite players right now. I mean, I remember when Kiyan was a baby and he was sitting courtside at Denver Nuggets games on Lala's lap. To see him as a full-grown teenager,
Right.
one, I feel old, and two, it's just so surreal. I remember when Bronny was a baby.
One second, Ashley. Sorry to interrupt you. I have to just say bye to you guys. There's,
Aw.
you know, we have another podcast, another show coming in right now. So thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Blue Wire. I love you guys at Paper Route, all the Paper Chasers. Still working title. Not excited about this name that Ashley and Corey came up with, but I'll see you guys Monday. Ashley, Corey, I'll try to remember that we don't have a show tomorrow, not send you guys topics and try to text you guys stuff that we can talk about tomorrow. Okay.
That's
Bye.
That's all right, boss. Take it easy.
All right. All right. Peace.
All right, B.
But no, continue. What you were
Yeah,
saying?
I think it's really cool. Like, I remember when these guys were babies. Like, I remember when Bryce was born. Like,
I'm
and
actually looking at
Savannah was
pictures.
on the sidelines pregnant with Bryce, and he's
Yeah.
a full-grown adult almost in size. It's just so crazy to see, like, how time flies. But it's also very cool. Like, I think that it's just very, very cool to kind of see to see LeBron and Carmelo in these new versions, and to see how also they're going to be different. I'm excited to see these guys play.
Yeah, me too.
You think Kiyan Anthony follows his dad's footsteps and goes to Syracuse?
I do believe, if I read it correctly, he already has an offer from Syracuse. I think it's hard, though. You know, LeBron didn't go to college, obviously. Bronny's going to USC. I think it's hard whenever you go to your dad's alma mater, especially where they've won a national
Yeah.
championship.
I was like,
It's
he
not like
reached the pinnacle.
Right. It's not like he'd be going to Syracuse and his dad never won. He just played. Like we've seen that in the NBA. Like guys will go to their parents' alma mater, but they weren't national champions. I think that, I don't know. So I think that Kiyan will probably blaze his own path.
Yeah.
I think that he'll entertain the idea of going to Syracuse, and if he does, that'd be really cool to see him, you know, in the campus in the jersey that his dad once wore.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
And does his own thing.
Yeah.
So
No, we'll see. Hey, but Woo is kind of funny. I've seen people in the chat. They say this Woo's time to shine now.
Hey, man, you know what I mean? I'm just stepping up to the plate when I can.
you want to get in that chair?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, listen, we're gonna throw you into this next debate here, because Bleacher Report, we got a lot of rankings that we're gonna be breaking down today. This might be the last one of the show, but Bleacher Report ranked their top 5 duels in the NBA, and honestly, same as like the wide receiver U rankings from earlier. There were some head scratchers in here, if you ask me. So let's throw that one up, BC. Number one, I have no problems with. I have no problems with number one, but number one is Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I get that one. Oh, we don't have this graphic, so maybe I might just have to list it and we just debate.
Don't? Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. All right, so bear with me, viewers. This actually helps the listeners on SiriusXM, because this is their experience every day. But number one, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. That was number one. Number 2, Ashley, was Giannis Antetokounmpo and Drew Holiday. At number 2. I'm going to continue on with the list. Number 3 was Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Number 4 was LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Number 5, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Did they get this right?
No. Okay, Jokic and Murray, I would put higher than.
There we go.
Oh, we got it.
Oh, we
okay.
got it.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right, here we go. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, I feel like, are number one just on names alone, because we haven't really seen them do anything together.
Yeah.
So if we're going based on top 5 duos in the NBA that have actually done stuff together, Jokic and Murray should be 1. They're fresh off a championship.
Literally.
So I would rearrange this list. Jokic, Murray, 1. I'd probably do Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, 3. I would put Tatum and Brown, 2. They're also fresh off of an Eastern Conference championship.
Of, like, the duels they missed. Like,
I would probably put Giannis. I don't know if Giannis and Drew Holiday would even make my list, truthfully.
honestly
Top
speaking.
5.
Yeah.
LeBron and Anthony Davis, I'd probably leave them. I don't know if I would. Yeah, I'd probably leave them 4. If I was gonna do Jokic, Murray, 1, Brown, Tatum, 2, Durant, Devin Booker, 3. I'd probably leave LeBron James, Anthony Davis, 4. Luka and Kyrie,
Like, I think they were just going off names, but like, if you ask me, what they produced last year was not top 5 worthy. If you ask me, what you think?
I don't think so. I don't even think they figured out how to play together. Would you is a duo considered like a Jimmy and Bam?
Yo, I was literally gonna bring that up. Like,
I'd put I'd put a Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler on 5 before I put Luka Doncic.
Doncic.
Sorry, y'all. Freaking tongue twisted for a second. I'd put them ahead of Luka and Kyrie.
And even Giannis and
Luka and
Drew at
Kyrie
this
haven't
point.
even figured out how to play together yet. I don't even know if they do know how to play together at this point. Matter of fact, if you didn't want to put Jimmy and Bam, you could put Giannis and Drew Holiday before you put Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's just off of potential, I think, right?
That one's
all
off.
that's-
Yeah, that's
off of
literally
names,
off. That's literally
name
off a
and
name.
potential. Yeah. Oh, and then you gotta Joel Embiid and James Harden. No. MVP and one of the best scorers in NBA
Because
history?
again, I haven't really. They don't. Embiid plays great,
Yeah, right.
but like
Yeah.
him and Harden aren't like this dynamic duo
He's
that like
carrying that duo, huh?
Yeah, Embiid's carrying that duo. So like I feel like, let me see that list one more time. I feel like if I personally was redoing this list, I would go Jokic, Murray 1. They just won a championship together. I would go Tatum and Brown. They're coming off of an Eastern Conference championship again. I would go Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and that's just strictly off a name alone because we haven't really seen them outside of the regular season.
Yeah.
I would leave LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think when they're at their best, they're really good. And I would leave 5 open to either Giannis and Drew or Jimmy and Bam. But Luka and Kyrie don't make my top 5.
Oh my goodness! Somebody in the chat just said Curry and Clay. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
Clay.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not even
totally
thinking
forgetting the
about that.
Warriors.
That's what I'm saying. Curry and Clay is actually
Okay, so
great.
boom, check this out. This is what I would do then. It would go Jokic, Jamal Murray, Tatum and Brown, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. I would go Clay and Steph in 4. Personally, Jimmy and Bam 5. LeBron, Anthony Davis would be right outside with 6. And then you would start getting into
Luka.
Giannis, Drew, and then Luka and Kyrie, however you want to make that happen.
Right.
No Kawhi PG.
I was thinking that too, but I thought I was going to receive some hate because of that.
I thought about that. It just don't seem like they've had enough time to really
and
prove
yeah,
that.
they
Who
haven't
hasn't
been
had enough
healthy
time?
Kawhi and
together.
PG,
Yeah.
the GOAT.
I mean, if
Oh,
we,
no, I can't use them.
it is a great duo if they're healthy though, but yeah, it's tough.
How did they forget Curry and Clay though?
How they
That's
did, I don't know.
insane.
Because I feel like Clay hasn't been the Clay Thompson that we have
That's what
seen
it
when the
is.
Splash Brothers were in their prime.
Good point.
But I think that when they're good, they're better than Luka and Kyrie. I mean, they're still the Splash Brothers. I don't know. I don't know how Luka and Kyrie crack the top 5, truthfully.
And then I was looking at this source Fadeaway World. They got Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland in there. They actually ranked them at 6. That was pretty confusing. And they had Joel Embiid, James Harden, which is why I brought them up. Who was another one that I saw? Oh, you know who might be a really good duo? Marcus Smart and John Morant. Nah. Did I reach? I reached for it.
Yeah,
Ain't it
that was
decent?
reach.
they haven't played a game together. What would you do?
That was a reach. No, I'm saying going into next season. That's what this ranking is for. Is also going into.
I mean,
next
you
season.
could change.
But you don't think Jaren Jackson and Morant?
Well, this might actually be a better one. Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. They're a handful.
I don't
Zion
know,
Williamson's
man.
playing at
we
full tilt.
just throwing names out here.
Is that what he said? Is that what we doing?
What
now?
about
like, we
Beal?
literally
What about
gonna list
Beal and
every team.
KD?
Yeah, we not.
What's
we
that,
not
BC?
there
Beal
yet.
and KD. You what switched up that? I mean, they got a trio. Yeah,
What
they got
about Beal and KD or Beal and Booker? You know, you could split that up anyway. They got the super team
That's
now.
true. They do got the super
sure
team with
do.
the lowest depth.
Nah, we not gonna reach just for content. Let's be for real. Let's really. That's why I can't hear BC when this came out.
they in the
Or
chat
took it out
talking about some
rather.
chill, Corey. No, Corey. Yeah, I lost it there, huh?
Yeah, you doing the most right now.
Yeah, I reached. Well, listen, one of the names that came up in that duel was LeBron James, right? So actually, I want to talk about LeBron James and these Lakers. But LeBron James has been in the lab lately. Let's take a look, at this workout video of LeBron James. He's looking good.
Is there sound on this? Yeah, you could talk over it.
Go ahead. Yo, LeBron James looking good in front of year 21. It's
Which is
crazy. It's
insane.
crazy to think
21
that
years,
that's what I'm
yo.
saying. He's going into his 21st year and still looking like that.
I mean, he's that guy. Y'all know he's my
King
GOAT.
James.
Oh my God!
Y'all know he's my GOAT.
Well,
I know
listen.
I'm not
Y'all
gonna start
talk about
that
this. I
whole
lost
thing.
something real quick. Keep
Did
talking.
you? Well,
Yeah.
Did you hear? I mean, listen. I know we were talking about Kobe earlier.
Okay, I'm back.
And I think Brandon made the statement that he was top 3, and he said he was 2. Did Brandon say that? Did I miss?
He said
him?
Kobe Bryant was the second best player of all time.
I mean, come on now. Like I didn't want to interject because all respect to Kobe. I
Yeah,
love
of course.
Kobe, but LeBron James is up there.
Kobe's third for me.
Yeah, Kobe. I mean, I've begun to. I forgot who I pulled up into 3. No, but he's my 3 too. But LeBron James and the Lakers. What are you expecting out of LeBron James going into year 1 though, Ashley?
You're going into year 21. You said
That's
year
21.
1.
He wish it was year 1.
And year 1 plus 20.
What am
the
I
last
expecting
20.
from him?
From him?
The same level of competition and athleticism and dedication that we've seen from him last season, the season before that. What am I expecting from the Lakers? Nothing.
But like what I mean by that is like, are we gonna start to see LeBron James start to change his game up a little bit?
LeBron's game, and people are gonna get mad when I say this, but this is not saying that it's. When I say it's on the decline, I'm not saying it's on the decline drastically, but you have seen year by year how his game has started to take more of a dip as he's gotten older in different aspects. He's still really dominant and he is still the ultimate competitor, but he is on the decline a little bit. He gets, the bumps and the bruises and the back-to-back start to affect him a little bit more than they did 5 years ago, a little bit more than they did 3 years ago. And that's okay. He's getting older. He's almost 40. So I think that you're going to see it change even more than it has last season. I think one of the things that kind of was the biggest, spotlight on him last year for me was how unreliable he was shooting. A lot of his shots, especially those 3 shots, I mean, he has absolutely at times no 3-ball game at all. I mean, I don't remember the actual game, but was it the Lakers series against I'm drawing a blank. What's the team?
Which round? The first round series?
It might have been the first round where he was just chucking up those 3 balls and nothing was hitting.
Yeah, didn't he go for
He would not stop shooting the 3. And it was like, how many of these do you have to hit for them to realize they're not gonna hit? I
think he went 3 games to start that series without making a 3. It was something that we hadn't seen really from LeBron.
I think one of the things that you're noticing about LeBron is he's starting to rely more on his body than he's ever done before, because I feel like his shot has started to take a dip. I feel like his jump shot's a little wonky a lot of the times. And that's, you can expect that. You get older, your knees, your ankles, everything you need for the power in your shot starts to change. So he's relying a lot of just being bigger than you, stronger than you, and being able to get it in the paint. I think you're going to see more of that game from him, of using his body. But then what happens with that is I still think he's one of the biggest guys on the floor, so it's not going to be a drastic change for him. But I think that what happens is as you get older and you start to constantly rely on your body, you start to get gassed more. You start to put yourself on the line for injuries and bumps and back. Now my back hurts, my shoulder hurts. But he's gonna have no choice but to do that, because I feel like his shot has taken a dip. So it's gonna be interesting how he combats where he is with his age. But again, I don't think that he's going to be a bum. I still think he's gonna be one of the best players in the league. However, I don't see the Lakers doing anything.
That's what I'm saying, and that's kind of leads me to my next question, because is it gonna be enough? Is
No.
LeBron James and Anthony Davis gonna be enough for the Lakers? Because I'm looking at their roster now. Of course, they made the addition of Gabe Vincent, great addition. But I'm almost thinking that they need to add a player for scoring. I'm not seeing where the scoring is going to come from.
It's not. The Lakers aren't. Here's the issue. The Lakers had all the talk and all the hoorah behind the Lakers during this offseason was that they were going to reload and they were going to build a championship team. They were going to go after Kyrie. Kyrie's in Dallas. They re-signed some of their guys, but it's LeBron and KD. It's LeBron and AD at the forefront. And the issue with that is LeBron's almost 40.
Yeah.
AD can't go a season without sustaining an injury. When he's not on the floor, now the workload is even more so on LeBron, who again is almost 40.
Yeah.
So I don't see how they have made it easier for their two stars to win.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like they've made it harder. Bron is still LeBron freaking James.
Right.
But again, he's almost 40. So you're going to see him get gas. He's not going to go ahead and give you 40 plus minutes of prime LeBron James anymore. He can't do that. If Anthony Davis is not healthy to go ahead and help him, where is your help coming from? Exactly. Where's your third option?
Exactly.
Austin Reeves? Like, who's going to help you?
Right. Well, and that's what I was going to ask, right? Who's the most important Laker not named LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Now you got, I'll give you some names: D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent. Jackson Hayes was somebody they just acquired via trade. Rui Hachimura was somebody they acquired, through the middle of the season, like in the middle of the season next year. Who's the most important Laker outside of LeBron James, Anthony Davis?
Got to be D'Lo, right?
How is it D'Lo when they were going to go ahead and he was on the trading block because they weren't utilizing him?
Well, I'm just saying he's a great shooter. So like if you're looking for a shooter, that's who you want to probably lean into.
Austin Reeves.
Say that again.
Austin Reeves. He's gonna be the X factor.
Yeah. I'd say if they want success, but BC, you tell me, don't they need almost like 20 points per game from him?
Yeah, but I think they'll get a good 15 out of him a game. That they've been showing good confidence in Austin and what he could do. So I think he'll get that. He'll get close to it. He'll get close to it.
I mean, he averaged 17.8 last season. So,
exactly.
Right there.
It's not like he's not already right there.
See, but look,
the issue with D'Angelo Russell, though, he doesn't play defense. Yeah. And you sometimes get a D'Angelo Russell that's giving you buckets, and then sometimes he doesn't exist. So I know everyone's like, oh, Ashley, I thought you liked depth. Yeah, like on paper, they're a deep team. But they're not
they're really giving you defensive depth.
Right. It's defensive depth, not so much offensive depth, and also offensive. It's not offensive depth because it's not reliable. Like when you looked at, for example, when you looked at the Denver Nuggets, for the most part, unless it was just an anomaly of a game, you knew what Bruce Brown was going to give you. You knew what this player was going to give you. You knew what that player was going to give you. Brown. Can you really rely? And then you had your X factors. You had Christian Brown and like guys who like got hot and then sometimes had a little bit more of a lax game. Can you really depend on an Austin Reeves to give you 20 plus points a game? Can you really depend on an D'Angelo Russell to give you 20 plus points a game? So can you really depend on everybody? And that is going to be a necessity because I'm telling you right now, LeBron is going to be tired. Anthony Davis is going to miss time. So where are you going to fill those gaps when offensively speaking, you're really not that deep because you're not that reliable? That's my concern on why they really desperately needed a third star to add to the tandem of AD and LeBron because it's going to be hard for those guys.
Yeah. I would have thought they'd have been better off, I don't know how realistic this was, but bringing in a guy like Kyrie, that was obviously like the talk, of the end of the year last year when we saw Kyrie Irving, appear at a Lakers game and then through the offseason. So that's where I felt the Lakers could have improved on last year, right? Because, I mean, that's the name of the game. You want to get better than last year. I don't see how they improve on last year with the roster that they have. Go ahead, BC.
I'm sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead.
They'll probably have another busy trade deadline.
You think so?
Yeah, because last season everybody was saying the same thing. Yeah. Like, oh, what's this roster going to do? It's so kind of wonky, so on and so forth. Trade deadline came. They hit it out the park.
They did, though.
And they
turned into a contender.
Yeah. So
they did.
I think they'll take some of the same approach this year. maybe flip some of these pieces. Maybe some of these guys that are on short-term contracts, they'll probably be out of their trade deadline and go try to get a big fish or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think also everyone's in the chat saying we're hating on the Lakers because didn't they go to the Western Conference Finals last year? We also have to look at what the West was last year.
Yeah. But I think they mean from what they came from, right? Before the
Yes,
deadline.
it was impressive what they came from and how at the trade deadline, like we're talking about, they were able to flip, make some moves, and they were able to go ahead into the Western Conference Finals. But let's not oversell that. Let's also look at the West that at that point. Let's also look at when they had to really go against a team that was prime and ready to go. What happened to them?
No, but they made it all the way to the Western Conference Final. I think that's what people are saying is that, yes, don't overdo it, but also don't underrate them.
I'm not underrating them, but what I'm also saying is a lot of, look at, for example, let's use the Miami Heat as example, okay? They overachieved. And what happened to them is when they got against a team that they could no longer overachieve against and was ready to rumble with them, what happened?
Yeah.
Knocked them out.
And that was and I'd be willing to say that was a better team than what the Lakers had last season. And they overachieved in the West. Yes, I am not knocking that. It was impressive. I didn't have them going that far. Brandon thought they were going all the way at that point. But just because you overachieve in a season doesn't mean that is now the standard of which you can play. It just means you had a season where a lot of things worked in your favor for you to get to that point. The Miami Heat are going to have an issue to get to that point again unless once again they overachieve because now all their pieces are gone. While the Lakers have maintained some of their pieces, you're still unless they do exactly what they did last season, which is flip at the trade deadline and just like hit it out of the park. You have to account for the fact that Anthony Davis is going to miss time. LeBron James is almost 40 years old. Now you have a West where you have the reigning champs. You have a healthy Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal now just added to the West. You have the Memphis Grizzlies who just added Marcus Smart and what's his name? What's that other guy?
Derrick Rose.
No,
right?
not Derrick. Oh no, just Marcus Smart. Derrick Rose is not.
Smart.
Derrick Rose.
Still
You still got to worry about the Timberwolves because although they're not a championship team, they are going to rough you up when you got to play them. Think of all the teams in the West now that you are starting at zero that are ready to go this time around. You think that's going to be a cakewalk? It's not.
No. I'm not saying that. I just think they're going to land somewhere in the middle. 5, 4, 5, 6, somewhere like that.
You have them that high?
Yeah, I do. What
I
I'm trying to
don't
say is
think
the
that- I don't think they're that
momentum
high.
You have the
coming
Lakers
from
4th
that
or
team.
5?
Yeah.
No
So
way.
what's your ranking? 4 or 5 is high.
That is
Andrew.
high. That is
Y'all
high.
think that's high?
But if
Hell
they,
yeah.
Hell yeah, that's high.
yeah, that's high.
All right, I'm gonna give them like the same then. I'll
let's-
say 7.
well, let's look at the
So a
Western
playing
Conference.
team. I can give you a playing
I'll
team.
say- I'll
for
say
sure.
7
I'll
then.
give you a playing team.
I didn't realize how high that looks.
Yeah, I think they could finish maybe this regular season a spot higher than they were last year. Do they go further in the playoffs though? That's my thing. I think they can have maybe a better regular season this year than they had last year because they're bringing all of those additions that they made back, right? So they have some continuity there. And I'm not even gonna lie, I forgot this guy, Jalen Hood-Schifino. He's gonna be a rookie. I was watching him a lot in the summer league.
He's nice.
He's actually pretty nice. And another name that had came up in the chat too. Is this the year that we're actually gonna see Cam Reddish like reach his potential?
Don't ask me
I
in
know,
BC.
as Knicks fans, that's what I'm saying. As Knicks fans, I know y'all probably rubbed the wrong way by him. Did he play the crowd? Did he play the crowd laughter? But no, I mean, like, how you guys feel about him? Though?
I'm doing this ranking though in my head real quick. I don't see how you have 4 because you got to think Nuggets. This is not an order. I'm just gonna throw the top 4 out there. Nuggets, Suns. You have Nuggets, Suns. I think the Kings will be in the top 4. You still got the Warriors.
Yeah, Kings are gonna be good next year.
The Kings are going to be great next year. You got the Warriors. You got the Grizzlies. That's top 5 right there.
I'm worried about the Warriors. Y'all know I do
like the
not
Thunder
believe in
more than the
CP3
Lakers.
on that
You
team.
got the Thunder. I mean, I think
The Mavs are gonna be a
the
problem.
Mavs
too.
are going to be
The
like, how do you
Clippers-
have the
Clippers are gonna
Mavs?
be
you
a
can't
problem.
say that though
Clippers.
because we don't know how good Mavs are gonna be.
The Mavs are going
I
to be
think
good
that's-
enough
I
to
think
be in the
that's
top 5, an actual
That's
playoff
not what the
team.
end of the season said though.
That's because
The end of the season.
The end of the season didn't. But remember, Kyrie got there middle of the season. They have a whole off season now, and they're gonna have a training camp and a preseason. I feel like the top 6, I don't see how the Lakers crack that.
My thing is the Lakers didn't have a chance midseason, made the trades, made 7th seed. The Mavs was a shoo-in for the playoffs and failed to make it. You have more reason to say that they're going to be a higher seed.
The Mavs were a shoo-in for the playoffs who
Make it
didn't
make
understand
sense.
the concept of chemistry.
Say it again?
The Mavs were only a shoo-in for the playoffs for people who didn't understand the concept of chemistry. There was no way Kyrie was going to get there in February, and him and Luka were going to flip a switch and become the Splash Bros. That was never going to happen.
Possible.
It was never going
Even
to
if it was
happen.
10%, it was possible.
No, it was never going to happen. That only the casual fans thought they were going to flip that switch and make that happen. It was never going to happen.
Hey,
Ever.
you know who I have as a dark horse out the West? And mark my words, I feel like there's a couple guys, players, and teams that I'm calling to have good seasons across the NFL and the NBA. The dark horse NBA team that I have out the West this year, I want to be. So you know who I'm gonna say?
The Pelicans?
No. I don't think it's a team anybody's expecting. Houston Rockets. I think the Houston Rockets are gonna be a problem.
Houston Rockets.
I'd rather say Portland.
Houston Rockets to do what exactly?
They're gonna be a team that's gonna be in the mix for a playing team.
Oh, a playing team? I don't doubt that.
And we all know anything goes with, when you're a playing team and you're catching that fire at the right time, i.e. the Miami Heat. So who knows? They got some veteran leadership.
Playing teams.
They got some veteran leadership in Fred VanVleet. They got my boy Dylan Brooks, and they got Jeff Green. Just 3 veterans that I think can really add something to that team, and they have a whole bunch of young superstars. So I don't know, man.
I wouldn't doubt a playing team.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible. Playing's kind of open the door, but
You said 10th seed?
yeah, probably like a 10th or 9th.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
could see that.
I think they could. They're gonna be better than the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, Victor Wembanyama. No, I don't like it. I don't
The
like
Spurs ain't shaking nothing this year.
Yeah, I don't really like.
You don't think the Spurs can be a playing team?
I don't like the Spurs for
No,
for maybe
if
one
the
more
Lakers
year.
are playing team, you think the Spurs are going to be one?
Remember, playing 7 through 10.
One more
they
year.
go up to 10. I thought it was only 8. Okay,
No, it's
so
7 through 10. It's 4 playing spots.
They could probably get 10.
So I'm
maybe.
saying, I'm
Who else
not.
is on that team?
They
The
got
Rockets, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr.
No. We're talking about the
Spurs.
the
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
Suns.
still on the
I mean
Rockets.
the Spurs.
The Spurs.
You have the
Keldon Johnson. You got
Jeremy.
Jeremy Chokran.
yeah.
I'm not sure how his last name is pronounced.
Playing though?
Maybe
I definitely would
they
say
could
by next
They
year.
could creep in maybe at 10. I'm not betting on it, but
they have some good guards. That's why Victor Wembanyama getting thrown into the mix was a good addition for the Spurs. So we'll see.
If they take Evan Fournier off of the Knicks, then maybe they can go do something over there on the.
I'm not betting on it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit of a reach. I do believe Houston could be a playing team. I agree with you on that.
We'll see. All right, y'all. So we're out of time. It's been another great week. It was a good one. So we're going to holler at y'all. We're going to be back Monday again for another great episode, another great week. But that is it. Corey in the cut, Ashley Nicole Moss, Woo Out West, BC in the booth, signing out. We'll holler at y'all. Have a good weekend.